Shalom u'bracha, peace and blessings. This week's Torah reading is titled Parshas Naso. It draws its name from the second verse of the Torah reading, Naso es rosh b'nei Gershon. You shall quantify or count the heads of the children of Gershon. And it's noteworthy that the word naso, similar to the word se'u, can mean to raise up. And as we mentioned last week, this was an uplifting experience that recognized the unique nature of each person. The census, which began last week, continues into this week's Torah reading and is completed in this week's Torah reading. The Torah then discusses the laws of sota, the laws of a woman who is suspected of adultery, and in what appears to be an archaic practice, the suspect wife is brought to the priest. She drinks an elixir that, if she's guilty, will kill her, and if she is innocent, she is cleared and is also then given a protected status in which her husband cannot send her out of his household, where he would have been able to had she been determined to have committed adultery. If she refuses to drink the elixir, she's then continues to be suspect. A friend of mine, a dear friend of mine who recently passed away, Barry Serrata, was an attorney who had a passion for history. And when we were studying this parsha together, he was saying to me how forward-thinking the Torah was. And he offered the following perspective. If we examine these laws within the context of the time, when within the general culture, the man had the right to put his wife to death simply because he suspected her of adultery, creating a framework where he needs to present his suspicions to the priest, and this elixir is applied, afforded her a cushion and an opportunity where she couldn't simply be put to death at his will. So something that seems archaic to us, in reality was very forward-thinking at the time. The fact that she had any right to any process was a huge step forward based on what was going on in the rest of the world at the time. The Torah then continues with the laws of a Nazir, a person who deprives himself of worldly pleasures, of wine, of intimate relations. He grows his hair long, is discussed in this week's parsha. And an interesting note is that the Nazir, the person who sacrifices all of this to bring himself closer to God, needs to bring a korban chatas, a sin offering, upon completion of his time as a Nazir. This would seem counterintuitive. What did he do? He did something that was altruistic. He gave up physical pleasures in order to bring himself closer to God. This is a reflection of a certain philosophy within Judaism. God has given us amazing gifts of creation. And by depriving ourselves of permissible pleasures, we are expressing a lack of gratitude for the gifts that God has bestowed upon us. And it is for this reason that the Nazir brings a korban chatos, a sin offering, for not appreciating the gifts of intimacy, of being able to indulge in physical pleasures that God has given to us and told us are permissible. I believe that there's a very important message in this piece of the narrative that we can apply to our lives today. So often we go about our daily lives and we take for granted the people that we interact with during the course of life's journey, the people that we share a family with, the people that we interact with in our business life on a daily basis, the people that we interact with on a congregational life, and we fail to take stock of the tremendous gift that they represent from the Ribono Shel Olam, from God. Here on the seacoast at this time of year, when we are surrounded by the beauty of God's creation, when the streets are full of people coming out after a long winter, and we have the opportunity to have wonderful interchanges with each other, we are compelled to take stock of the gift that all of these blessings represent in our lives, and give thanks to the Ribono Shel Olam, to the Master of the Universe, because each and every human interaction that we have, each and every interaction that we have with nature, the opportunity to experience nature, each and every moment is a gift from the Ribono Shel Olam, is a gift from God. And all too often, we only appreciate that when life is drawing to a close. It is my hope and prayer that each of us can take a moment to appreciate the beauty of God's creation that surrounds us each and every moment, and perhaps take an opportunity to thank God, either in your own words or with the words of our sages long ago. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. We praise you, God, who is the author of creation. Osa ma'aseh bereshis, who has done the actions of creation. Shabbat Shalom. May the spirit of Shabbat bring joy, warmth, and wonder into your heart, into your mind, and into your home.